Well, hello there. Today I'm going to be doing a little demonstration of a painting technique that I've been doing. Nothing too fancy, but essentially here I have got a Blood Bowl ghoul and I'm painting him in a black and white style, as you can see. Very similar to the sort of thing you see on some of the modern games like Borderlands 3 and others. There's a lot of people doing this sort of style, although of course I am doing it in just black and white. Now for this I'm only using 4 colours along with the base colour. So I've got a coat to arms horse tone grey, and then we also have a coat to arms elven grey, which is 122. Then we are also using a citadel dawnstone, and then a citadel standard Macana's grey. And to start this off, I am going to be using this model here, which is a zombie from the Necromantic Blood Bowl kit that Games Workshop done. This is just been sprayed black with the Citadel black spray paint, and then I've touched up any areas with my coat to arms black. So it doesn't really matter what type of black you use, as long as it's a nice flat and you've got a decent flat level bit of colour on there. So I'm going to pause this there and then go on to the next scene. Right, I'm going to start with the first colour I'm going to go on, which is the dark colour. So I am going with this, which is my Macana's standard grey. Now you'll have to excuse the quality of this video. I've never done this sort of thing before. Don't even know if it's any good. I'm not sure about the angles at which I'm shooting at. All this thing is a discovery at the moment. So you can see where my paper is over here. I'm going to try my best to show as I'm working along, but of course, having no experience of this sort of thing, it's all going to be a bit me saying a lot, which grates me, let alone anybody else. I don't know how that works out. Just me saying a lot and trying to paint a miniature and get as much in shot as possible. Now, I'm going with the darkest colour possible, so the Macana's standard grey. Now, just get a little bit on your brush, not too much. So I tend to just roll it around sideways a bit. So I am working from the pot here. You can use a wet palette if you want, but because this is so dark, I prefer to use a pretty dark, thick colour to get the tones that I want. Especially as you will just about see, I am painting the boots, so I want these as dark as possible. Let's see if that's in shot. So yeah, so I'm going to go around the boot here. Just draw a line. Nothing fancy, don't have to be precise. As it goes on, it gives you what you want. You have to rotate things to get the look that you want, to get the things that you need. Don't worry about too much about mistakes, because it is black, so you can go back over it again with more black, which is perfect. Now, what you need to do is just pick out various areas. Now in this case, you can see the laces just here. I will not be painting them, but the top of the boot here, so where the tongue is essentially, that is I'm going to highlight. That's all you're really doing, is just doing loads of highlights, but with different, very dark highlights. Around the edge of the top of the boot here, going all the way around. Don't worry about getting your fingers in the model. Get a good spray on there or a good coat on there, it will quickly take most things. If you are worried, you can just give it a light under. Excuse my phone going off in the background. Now I've done that boat, the main areas, but also you need to go around some other things. So in this case, you can see the toes here. Now, in some of these cases, I would dry brush the model first, but this is an experiment, so I'm doing it live, I suppose. So I'm going to try and after the train's gone past, as you can hear the trains in the background because I live next to a train line. I'm going to try and do the highlighting just by eye. So I'm going to imagine the direction the light's coming from. So in this case it's coming from up here. I'm going to try and pick out various dark areas. So in this, it will be these parts of the toe. I'm probably doing this back to front actually if I think about it, because that bit here, the front of the toe will be highlighted, a bit more. But as it goes all the way around, there's a lot of damage. You get light all over the place. You get light from different sources and different directions. Because when you're on these are players on a pitch, so there'd be light sources from all different directions. You wouldn't just have natural light. You have all sorts of illuminations. And though of course it's a fantasy world, so it'd be magical. So, and then just start picking out areas. So here I'm going for the side of the boot. Get a little curve, a little swirl. Top of the boot here, just a little line. Which is also, there's a bit of a mould line there, so I'm using that as an opportunity to disguise it. A little bit of a line going across here. Just light little flicks. Down the back of the boot here. Around the base a bit. And if you want to, you can fill it out with thick areas. Get a little bit of paint on the pot. Thick it. You can even fill out like thick areas. Just boop, 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 boop. Just a bit on the back of the shoe there. Just look at the raised areas and think, where's the light coming from? You'll get a clue from your actual light source. So I've got a light coming from above here, as you can see from the coloration of my hands. But you'll see some areas picked out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now when you first look at it, there's a little bit of indentation of the boot there, so I'll flick around and go up a bit. A bit more on the round of the boot edge, little lines. Just like flicks the brush. You might look at this and think, my god, this looks terrible. How's this ever going to work? Little raised area on the front of the boot there, so it's just across here, just before the laces. You can look at this and think, this is never going to work. How's this? This is going to look absolutely awful. At the moment, it just looks like a loads of lines scrawled over something. It looks absolutely terrible. I tell you, that's how I thought the whole time I was painting these. It's like, oh god, this is awful. How am I doing this? How am I painting this? Now, in this guy's case, the other boot is a sock. For that, I'm going to use a lighter tone, so I'll probably use a Dawnstone on this one. So I'm going to think about what other areas are going to be dark. So I've got his trousers here. They're going to be dark, but there's a line down the trousers, which is a kind of like a coloration on this side of it, like a marking, like a stripe from whatever kind of team colours he's running as well. So just brush a little bit wet. So, if we look on this guy's bum, see here, there's some raised areas along here, so that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to pick these out, avoiding the string from his dodgy belt, because he's a scarecrow, so he's got a belt made out of string. And just line that area out. And then there's a hole there, so you can go all the way around it to bring it all out. In this case, I'm just doing half and half. Give an idea of shadow. Some of the lower areas will be in darkness. And just pick out various raised areas. So here I'm going to bring a line going down. Doesn't show me it is. Line going down. So I'm going to turn it into a kind of fat triangle. Just go with what I feel. There's a little bridge there, so go round. Flick. Remember, some of this stuff is underneath from the light source. So the light's coming down from above there. So some of that you wouldn't be able to see, but you still need to raise it out because there would still be some difference in colour and tone. Because you can go over this. You can go over this layer with another lighter shade of grey. Sometimes I go over a white just to pick out really raised areas. It doesn't even matter if it's too thick, because as you do more and more colours and more tones, more to it. Now, Another thing I've been doing, which you're going to see on the ghouls, so let me just get the ghoul up here. You can see on his arm, just there, there's these little crisscross parallels to show high definition areas where there's probably a shine or a light. So I'm going to do it very lightly on this guy's bum just here, so this raised area. So this raised area here, so I'm just going to go with a little line and go flick, 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 nothing fancy, and then another line across it, just dragging the brush. Doesn't really matter which direction or how much you do, but if it's complete or incomplete, because you can always, you can do this where you go around this side a bit more. Nothing fancy, nothing too much going on, it just gives a little bit of definition to it, and then carry on with the rest. Try and keep that shot, keep forgetting where the camera focus is. Hopefully this is all the shot, so this will be all in vain. I'll have to do a completely different miniature. Start the whole process over again. There's a line goes there, a little bit raised there, a little bit there, a ridge on the trouser here. I don't know how people do this for stuff. I might have to move the camera around and put it in a position to try where's the best place to have it. So I'm going to get serious backache if I keep perching over the table like this. A little bit of raised area there because that'll be sticking out. We need more paint, but I'm only putting little dabs on the brush at a time. So if we look at the tip, you can see it in this line, but there is literally just the tiniest, probably a quarter of the brush has got paint on it at any one time. Now this line here is where the uniform got some bits on it. So get some more paint across here. Edge of the trouser, so pick that out. What's left of the trouser is a bit raggedy, of course. See the zombie. And then on the other side here, that showing as it is. A bit more there. Round up. Now I'm going to pause this here. Carry on working on it, and then I will record the next bit.